Howdy, hey, it's your girl, Lazy Dragon, who has no clue how to record a video. I have tried this like 4 times so far. Note to self, don't pause. Make sure you have everything ready before you go again. So, I am going to be reading one of my stories, and if you couldn't tell by the background music, you hear that? Any Aphmau fans out there? You know exactly what this is. An Aphmau fic. Alright, anyways, my pillow is better adjusted, even though it's pressing up against my neck trying to choke me. Yeah. I'm getting distracted by this stupid freaking music video. I mean, it's not stupid, but... Oh my god, already off to a great start. Yeah, anyways, this is prompt 45. I wrote this, by the way. I wrote this. If y'all can tell, that's me. I sound like one of those stupid kids that's always trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm important and all that. Oh my god, I'm not important at all. I'm just some random kid who's doing this for a hobby. Not even a kid, I'm gonna be an adult in like a year. I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. And also, please, can somebody put a shirt on this guy or at least zip up his hoodie? I can never imagine not wearing a shirt because I'm a girl. You don't wear a shirt, then it's kind of like, oh my god, you're a slut. That's literally how you're viewed. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna zoom in so that way I can read this easier. I've had like 4 chances to get this right. Hopefully, I can get this right. Let me turn this down a little. Up a little. Alright. So, I thought this idea was cute. That Aarmau is definitely a cute ship. Why am I clapping? Being review. Don't copyright me. I'm not even a YouTuber. I'm just doing this as a hobby. Alright. So, let's go. It sucks when you realize how close you were to finishing it. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, we've had problems. Loom, please, fix your thing for Chrome. Like, seriously. Alright. Aphmau had been stuck in the Rift Dimension for 10 days. Her rations were running low. I was tripped up on that stupid part! As well as her pouch of water she stole off a corpse. Oh my god. Why am I having such a difficult time reading? It used to be that I had a 6th grade level when I was in 3rd grade. Jeez. Look at how far I've spiraled down. So far, she had only found a stream and settled there. But then a green hornet came and drove her away, since most dragons didn't like to share territory. Now she was trying her luck, walking in a straight line and altering her path when being hunted, in hopes of finding water and shelter, or something that didn't want to eat her. So far, she had found nothing, but she hadn't given up yet. The branches rustled above her, and she looked up, then instantly regretted it. A large and heavily scarred dark red dragon was perching itself above her, licking its chops and prepared to attack. Not attack, just to attack. Aphmau wasted no time running off in a random direction as she heard the beast jump down from its perch with a deafening roar. She ran into a cave, cornering herself as the dragon skid to a halt outside. The thing was massive, as big as a 3-story building. And this building-sized monster wanted to kill her and potentially eat her. I need to add that in. It dug its snout in, realizing it could dig her out, and proceeded to dig. There's some massive issues with parallelism here. Aphmau pressed herself as close to the back of the wall as she could as the beast got closer and closer. its breath getting warmer and damper as it slowly got closer. Aphmau was about to succumb to the monster when there was a faint whistle, and then the dragon screeching, pulling. Then the dragon screeched, pulling itself and howling in pain. Another faint whistle, and the beast let out a death screech. All Aphmau could see was the barbed tail flopping over. She had waited patiently before trying to venture out, but stopped when a giant's foot slammed down in front of her hidey hole. She squeaked, retreated back, as she heard the giant moving outside. Aphmau wanted to go outside and look, but she didn't know anything about her unaware savior. Did he eat humans? Did it want her instead of the dragon? Did it even know she was there? Aphmau was a little disappointed when the giant set up a small fire and set up a camp, cooking his fresh kill for the night. Her stomach growled pathetically, reminding her of the last time she ate, but it was too long ago. She resisted the urge to come out and at least observe, but soon her hunger got to her, as she ventured out, creeping up to the giant. He had a leather jacket on, as well as black pants and black hunting boots. He was properly outfitted for life in the forest, unlike Aphmau, who came dressed, but thankfully not heels. As she got closer, she could hear the giant tearing into the cooked meat. To her, it was a terrifying sound, as she wanted to run back to her hiding space. Indeed she did, catching the attention of the giant, but thankfully he didn't see her. Instead, he shrugged it off and continued eating, only a lot slower and more alert. She waited a couple of minutes, and ventured out again. She got close enough to the giant that he could grab her, potentially make a snack out of her. The giant noticed her and gave a confused hum, looking down at her. His eyes were hidden behind a scarlet red bandana, as he had a hood on covering his hair. He had no shirt on, so his chest was exposed with a collection of various scratches and melting patches. Aphmau realized most of these were dragon wounds. She thought he was going to scoop her up and eat her, maybe even keep her as a pet, or a slave if she was unlucky, even unluckier to be dragon bait. Huh, a human. I haven't seen one by themselves in a long time. He mused, Aphmau sensed. Are you hungry, little fellow? He asked, tearing off a piece of meat from the dragon's forehead. Here, take it, he offered. Aphmau rarely approached the offered piece, then snatched it out of his fingers and darted back to her hidey hole, eating the meat inside. The giant watched her, now knowing where she came from. He made a mental note of it and continued eating. Moments later, she came back, giving him begging eyes, like a sparrow at an outdoor restaurant, begging the customers for a scrap of food. He smiled and gave her another piece, and yet again she retreated. And then she came back. This time, he had the precious meat in the palm of his hand. Okay, how about we try something new? If you really want this piece of meat, you'll have to climb into my hand to get it. I promise I won't trap you or try to eat you. All you have to do is earn your food, the giant said, lowering his hand. Aphmau squeaked, wanting to run, but she needed the meat. Was food worth the risk of becoming food? Aphmau gathered all of her courage to climb onto his hand and quickly snatched up the piece of meat, about to run back for the final time. Wait, why don't you stay a while? It's been so long since I've talked to a human. Best errand impression ever, the giant said. Aphmau sat in his hand, letting his words sink in. Sorry. The giant was lonely. He probably lived on his own and moved from place to place like a nomad. That or he was putting on a really good facade and was trying to fool her. But so far, he kept to his word. He hadn't moved his hand aside from the slight twitching. This song in the background is distracting me so much. She looked back at her hole longingly and sighed, nodding to the giant. He gave her a warm smile in return. Okay, I'm gonna lift my hand up. Is that okay with you? The giant asked. Aphmau nodded, and he slowly lifted his hand at him. Wow, you're really small, he commented, lightly poking her in the chest. She yelped and recoiled, which stopped his poking and prodding. He only poked her once. And very weak. What happened to you? How long have you been here, and why a purple dress? The giant had a flat tone on the last question. That wasn't really a flat tone. I don't know how to do a flat tone. Aphmau shied away from him, still terrified of the giant. He frowned with concern as he turned his head to the side, opening his mouth and yawned. First rule when handling a tiny, you never show them even your teeth. You never even mention. No. You never even eat around them. You just broke that rule, man. She's not gonna trust you. She's gonna think that you're gonna eat her. Aphmau could see a large fangs sticking out from his lips and his tongue, coiling deeper into his mouth, which terrified her. We'll talk later in the morning, okay? He said. It's getting late, and I'm assuming you're tired. As if on cue, Aphmau yawned. Yawning is contagious, stretching herself out. She hadn't realized how tired she was until he mentioned how late it was. The giant smiled and stood up, setting up a makeshift tent and sleeping bag, and laying down with Aphmau pressed close to his chest. Aphmau snuggled into him, embracing the warmth, and instantly fell asleep. He could have sworn he heard a quiet good. He could have sworn he heard a quiet good night from her. We'll talk more tomorrow. Just sleep for now, he thought. The giant smiled at her as he closed his eyes, drifting off to sleep. Jesus Christ, that was a freaking nightmare for me to read. Oh my god. Some of the word choices could have been better. Parallelism obviously needs to be fixed. But other than that, there's not much I can do. This is a disaster. Oh my god. Anyways, I am pretty much done. There are a couple of comments. I'll show you all the comments. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, by the way, I wrote this when my family was in a pretty bad spot. My mom, she had to go to the hospital for emergency surgery. Not saying what it was. That is private family information. You're lucky that I even shared with you that. And my grandma had passed away. And it had been pretty much a tough month for me. I was losing family members. Family members were dropping out. They were getting sick. It started a long feud between family that tore the whole family apart. We basically just ended up in a civil war. So, yeah, it's been kind of tough that month. It was in August or September, I can't remember. Yeah. It was tough for me, but I eventually managed to just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna write. I'm gonna write, get everything off my mind. Forget that everything happened. So, this was written when I was in a dark spot, so forgive the kind of dark tone. I was trying to cheer myself up by eliminating the darkness that was clouding me onto the computer. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked the story and enjoyed watching me stroke out. Even though you can't see my face, you get to see my cute little avatar right here. Frozen Smilodon. Which is basically just a saber tooth. That's the tooth. Yeah. It was a pretty dark month for me. But I'm feeling a lot better. It's a year's passed now. Yeah. Still. I hope you guys really did enjoy this. If you guys did, then please like and show me that you want to see some more. This is a hobby of mine, by the way. I'm not going to try and make this a career of mine. I'm going to try and get a normal job because YouTube is pretty much just the hardest place to get a job on now. You have to know every single trend, and you have to be on top of it, otherwise you are going to fall fast. I can't snap. Yeah. That's pretty much it. The song in the background is going to be distracting me, so I'm gonna log off now. Adios, and see you guys later. Again, adios.